Hi there, boys and girls. It's Miss Margaret again for the third piece of our Easter story. Now remember, on Sunday we talked about the first piece, Palm Sunday, where Jesus rode into Jerusalem on the back of a donkey, and everyone there was excited to see him and threw their cloaks and palm branches out for him to walk on. And then yesterday we talked about what happened on Thursday, right? Maundy Thursday, Jesus had the Last Supper with his disciples, and he served them by washing their feet and by praying over them and praying for us after the meal. And then once they were finished eating, remember, they went to the Garden of Gethsemane where Jesus prayed to God and then was arrested. So now we're going to talk about the next piece of our story, and he was brought before the religious leaders. Now, the religious leaders thought that he was lying about being God's son. Is that true? No, Jesus was telling the truth, right? He is the Son of God. But they did not believe him, and they wanted him to get into trouble. So they took him to the governor of Judea, and his name was Pontius Pilate. Now, Pilate could tell that Jesus was innocent, and he didn't want Jesus to get in trouble. But the religious leaders were getting the crowd so angry and so worked up that they all cried out, "Crucify him!" The soldiers took Jesus away, and they were very mean to him. They hurt Jesus, and they beat him up, and they put a crown of thorns on his head that made him bleed. They were not very nice at all. And then very early Friday morning, they made Jesus get up and carry a big heavy cross up the mountain to what they called the skull, which is where they were going to crucify him. And they hung Jesus up on that cross, and the people that were watching and the soldiers and people passing by said mean things to him, and they were hurtful, and Jesus was suffering. But finally, the whole sky got dark, and Jesus breathed his last breath, and he said, "It is finished." And as soon as Jesus said that, the earth started to shake, and the rocks split apart, and the curtain in the temple that separated the holy area from the rest of the temple tore in half. And the soldiers that saw this happen, and all of the people that witnessed it, said to themselves, "Oh no, surely he was the Son of God." So that's when they knew they had made a big mistake. But we know now that Jesus didn't stay dead, right? That's right, he came back to life. And we're going to learn about that in our next lesson on Sunday.